In this example, we are taking 6 and 72/100ths, which is the dividend, and we are dividing it by the divisor, which is the 1 and 2/10. Let's go ahead and write this as long division. So I want us to start by recording the dividend that goes underneath the division symbol. So I'll type first 6.72. Then from here, I'm going to take my scribble tool and record my division symbol. The 6.72 is being divided by the 1.2, so I'll write the 1.2 on the outside next. And then if I want to move where it's at, I need to choose this little piece that looks like a square. I can grab it and move it. All right, now I need to think about if I need to move the decimal or not. Well, the deciding factor is the divisor. So look at the divisor. Do you see a decimal visible in the divisor? If you do, that's a problem. We need to move that decimal to the far right. So I do see a decimal in the divisor, so I'm going to move this over one place. So I move this over one time. If I move this decimal over in the divisor, I also need to do the same thing in the dividend. And then I'm going to retype the problem. So now we have, instead of 1.2 on the outside, we have a whole number, 12. And then underneath the division symbol, instead of 6.72, we have 67.2. And now we can start dividing. So I'm going to start by moving that decimal up to the top. I don't want to forget about that decimal. And then I ask myself, how many times does 12 go into 6? Well, 12 is larger than 6, so 0 times. How many times does 12 go into 67? Well, let's start writing out our multiples of 12. So we start out with, well, I'll grab my typing tool for this. We start out with 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, 12 times 4 is 48, 12 times 5 is 60, and 12 times 6 is 72. I'm going to stop there because I realize that 72 is larger than 67, so we need to use 60. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 12s. So I'll go back to my scribble tool and I'll record that 12 goes into 67 5 times. And 12 times 5 is 60. So I record that below the 67. And then I subtract it from the 67. 67 minus 60 gives me 7. Now I cannot ask the question again until I bring a number down. So I bring down the 2. I bring down the 2. 12 goes into 72. Well, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So 6 of these 12s fit into 72. So 12 times 6 is 72. We place that below the 72 and we subtract. We get a remainder of 0 and there's no number to bring down. So this is when you know that you're finished with the problem. It ends with a 0, a remainder of 0, and there's no number to bring down. So my final answer is 5.6. So I'll take my typing tool, make this a little bit larger so it's easier to see, and I'll type that my answer is 5.6. And I'll also put a rectangle around it to show that that is my final answer.